keep doing the old sacrifice in your relationship, the other person will get tired, obviously. The next one, I will grow together. Like, it's very important to grow as friends, as couples, as anything, I don't know, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it is really, like, it's very important. That is, it's how you find out if that person is the one for you. You grow together, you grow as friends, you grow as couples, like by spending time just talking and bonding with one another and each other. So if you can't grow or learn to grow in your relationship, it will not last. Learn to adapt. You obviously cannot even expect to have all the same ideas and belief as the person you are in a relationship with. So it's very important to adapt if you want your relationship to last. If you care about your friends, your boyfriend or girlfriend, this step should come pretty easy. Like, it's very, very easy. Your partner's your partner's little quirks or even relationship beliefs seems like a deal breaker, but if you have the ability to adapt, then your relationship has the amazing ability to go a very long way, like to go distance. Next one I'll be talking about is develop your own interest. When you are in a relationship, it is important to develop your own interest. You and your partners don't have to express interest in all of the same thing and each other. What would make things really boring, wouldn't it? Like, when you just this way you guys will have more things to talk about. When this one talks about this, you learn from each other, you learn from one another, and you just don't have to let it be that you guys just have the same interest in one thing. So this way you guys will have more to talk about and even more new things to try in that relationship. Don't keep scores. Relationships are not a game, so there is no reason to try to keep score. This means, what I'm trying to say is, if you do something nice for your partner, or do something to help out, or you just did something out of a random, you don't have to announce it to them just to get brownie's point. This same goes for if they make a mistake, or you are mad at somebody, or you're mad at the person. You shouldn't feel the need to hold it against them. Don't tell them your cup is so full. You don't even have to. Just don't hold it in at all. Let it go. Tell them. You shouldn't feel the need to hold it against them just to make yourself look better. If Mr. A can make 20 mistakes in a day and you are making one mistake in a day, it doesn't make you any better. So just try to find a way to always, don't have to make yourself like, no, you did this the first time, you did this the second time. No, don't make it. So this is probably one of the top reasons why relationships don't last. You'll be like, yes, I got him this last week, I got him this, he hasn't even done, he has not done this, he has not done that, blah blah blah, and all sort of things. Nobody feels to feel like a loser in a relationship. So don't keep scores. Practice self-awareness. When you're in a relationship, you usually try to do whatever you can do to make the other person happy, right? Yeah. Well, how are you supposed to even make someone else happy unless you know what makes you yourself happy? So practicing self-awareness is a very good way to make what makes you happy and what makes you click. So you can be the partner your better half wants you to be, or your friends want you to be. Cultivate your final qualities. Work on your qualities that makes you a better person. It can be easy to do things in a relationship. So because there are always opportunities to practice those qualities like loyalty, compassion, and trust. Encourage each other. I'm sure you don't want to ever feel held back about doing some certain things or trying new things just because you are in a relationship, and neither does your partner. So just make sure you encourage each other, significant other, and achieve every goals. So I would like us to go on a very short break. I'm really enjoying the topic actually, and I hope you are also. I'll be right back. Stay with us. To AFAC Online Radio. For those joining us now, we are speaking on relationship. We spoke about relationship itself, LD and unhealthy relationships. So now we're actually talking about how to grow a very healthy relationship. Next one I'll be talking about is mind your manners. Another one of mom golden rule, you should always remember to mind your manners when you're with your partners. You don't want to gross them out by letting out big excuses that are not even. So this, just always mind your manners. Watch how sometimes it might work on your partner and the partner might not feel offended, but at another time actually the person can be offended. Next is be passionate. Any person you meet just always try to always compliment them, be affectionate, hugs, and a lot of things like that. So next one, also respect the person's friend, which they are not your friend. When they say my friend's friend, this is another big one. So if you are not a big fan of your partner's friend, you are better off keeping that your little secret. You don't have to like them, but just for the sake of your relationship, you should at least respect them and always admit that you are wrong when you are wrong. We have been in a situation whereby, as much as you don't want to admit it that you are wrong, in some sort of disagreement, sometimes you should just allow the pride of yours, just allow it to just go and, admit that you are wrong. If your partner really cares, they will, remember step 2 and do what? And they will forgive you. And don't always be afraid to speak your mind. If you need to talk about something with your partner, don't hesitate to say what you need to say. If you are the one to beat around the bush, I know that they will pick up on what they are trying to say. You can actually be lost in translation, which will not actually favor you, and your partner will actually misinterpret what you're trying to say. So that's it for that. So I'll just quickly brief on what makes a good relationship. I'll just mention very few of what makes a good relationship. The myth of a perfect relationship still persists. We imagine happy couples being calm and glowing, communicating with love and respect at all times, engaging in mutual and a lot of things like that. So just let me just say just a very few. So the one is like a high level of self-love as a foundation of loving each other. This can actually be confusing, and we are talking about how to make a very good relationship. Rather, it's a good relationship with ourselves, and this includes a respect for our own limits and boundaries, a confidence in our own value, and a sense that we deserve to express our desires. Next one is an ability to communicate effectively with each other's feelings and needs, skills to engage tension and resolve conflicts, expert strategies to keep the relationship alive, and relationship role model. Speaking of relationship role models, great relationships usually have somebody they look up to and learn from. So perhaps you should know someone you think is great and serve as a fine example, somebody that can guide you. There are also great relationship experts who are couples. So think about who in your life can guide and support your development as friends, as couples, and thereabout. So speaking of, I just want to tip in, next week actually we'll be talking about relationship itself. When I mean relationship itself, I mean boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, because that's what is really going on in our world right now. And a lot of people need to learn about relationship when it comes to dating. Exactly. So that's what we'll be talking about next week, dating. So there are a lot of people really they usually misunderstand dating, relationship dating. A lot of people really misunderstand that aspect. So next week we'll be talking about it, and I really won't like you to miss the show. So let me just quickly. Some people just be like, people are in the relationship be like, we need, most. Someone was telling me he wanted something interesting, like a relationship, like something fun that they can actually. Like things about relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, really, that's what most people just want to hear. I know, but this one you will listen to next week is going to be very educative, and so let me just really say something about relationship goals. For it to know how hot our next week will be. So relationship goals, because people really misunderstand what is actually a relationship goal. Relationship goal actually refers to the reason you are in a relationship. The reason. Relationship goal is not wear shoe, I wear shoe. It's not wear t-shirts with your name on it. I be like my boyfriend will not put arrow. That is not relationship goal. Because I know a lot of people that will post pictures. I'm like, relationship goal. Relationship goal is the main reason why you are in the relationship and what you hope to accomplish being in that relationship. So it could actually be short or long term kind of relationship, but it's a more like a guide on how to give your best in the relationship. So next week, definitely by God's grace, we'll be talking about relationship itself, boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. So and I hope with this things I've said, and I hope we actually pick us up. So with this that I've said today, I would like us to actually come to the end of today's section on Dayo's Hour, and I do actually hope this is beneficial to you and you have picked yourself. Yeah, like I said earlier. So I would like that we really want to talk more on this, but we'll definitely be right back same time next week. And so if you have any suggestion or addition, contribution or questions, please don't forget to DM us on AFAC Online Radio or come to my personal page as I_am_Duni. So I'll be leaving you now, and yes, it's still your favorite online radio, AFAC Online Radio. So next week we'll be talking about the relationship and relationship goals itself, and I wouldn't like you to 6 p.m. on Wednesday by next week, and I hope you do enjoy this one. So any questions, anything you have. Yeah, speaking of last week, those that were level 10 I've decided to break my head when they see me. Hello, you guys need a very, very efficient therapy and a very, very good masterclass. And to those of us in level 2 or shuffling between level 4 level 5, I cite you all too. It's really good, and I really want us to work on ourselves about our anger issue. So it's really, really going to help us, and it's going to go a very long way. So till we check in, same time, same venue next week, and same day, I still remain your host Dayo, and this is Dayo's Hour on AFAC Online Radio. See you next week. We'll be talking about relationship, and definitely I wouldn't want you to miss that. See you next week till we check in next week. Bye.